peasant girl.
She has a perfect faith.
So do I. In you and in what you believe. I've been an eager student, but I've held back from the final ceremony. And now, I'm ready to join you at the invocation.
Now, truly realistic women are. Finally, you are ready to dare the most terrible rites and incantations to secure your position. I wonder if she is ready.
7110 Oliver Smith.
Zone.
25.
Back of the hand or forehead?
Will it wash off?
No, it's permanent.
Back of the hand.
Put her right there. I'm not afraid to be a good citizen.
Name?
Ernie Gebhardt.
Address?
1334 East Oak Park.
Zone?
Zone 50.
One last time, I have to see this ground. It's beautiful now, as if nothing had happened here.
Government cut.
Soon they would tear down the main house, and then nothing would
Lord,
be left.
come on, proclaim that
Nothing.
righteous government.
Except that I remember. I grew up in the town nearby, where my father was the
We
mayor,
break the power of
and
the
where this
devil
house stood, waiting for
in
me.
this nation.
It was built by
In the name of Jesus, it's gone.
Shout it loud.
We had never seen
Shout it
him,
loud.
and he
I
never
want to
looked
hear
at
you.
me. Until the day before Christmas in 1950, he finally did come in. For the last time. All of us believed that his death was an accident. No one knew that another person had come to Butler House that
Let
Christmas.
him simmer you in the Holy Ghost. God touched you tonight. I want to hear about it. Somebody come tell me what happened.
Pray it out, Tori.
Pray it out.
Take the
As Deputy Coroner of the County of Arlington, State of Massachusetts, I hereby find, upon evidence of an autopsy conducted by the medical examiner of this county, that the deceased, Wilford Butler, died as a result of burns inflicted accidentally upon himself on his own premises during the afternoon of December 24th, 1950. No further inquiry shall be held over the body of the deceased, and this inquest is officially closed.
If that was any example of Dr. Lavender's professional standards, his shingle should be hanging by a mighty thin thread. He'd even give malpractice a clean bill of health. Says for law, I'd say.
Come on. You gonna sit here all day?
What's the matter?
Yeah, put your clothes on.
I made up my mind to get even, alone. I didn't even know how yet. But one thing is sure, I had to work things out so they'd keep in touch.
What the hell is with you?
The best way was to pretend I enjoyed it.
Christ, what you've done to my chest?
Oh, well, we have to. Hurry up. I'll drive you to your place.
Why are you looking so sad? Didn't we have a good time together?
What?
Was it really that bad? Couldn't have been that unpleasant.
You didn't look too glad a short while ago.
My poor baby. Looks to me you don't know anything about women. What I like best is to be forced into it.
Goodbye.
It's these images that has a lot of parents, educators, and law enforcement officials with these kids who reflect to these sites just to submit it to masses, and then they can land them other places. It sounds like this. It uses binaural or two-tone technology to alter your brainwaves and mental state. Kelly Johnson is a parent and teacher.
Life went on. But there was life as it was before, and life as it is now. I couldn't concentrate on my work anymore. It came back into my mind again and again. I felt a wreck. But one thing kept me going, the idea I'd get back at them. I had to find a way to get even. And then one day, that's it. I knew what I'd do to them. Castrate them like pigs.
Maya.
Like the animals they are. I worked everything out in my head.
Honey,
I had to be ready for them when they'd
wrong.
call.
You haven't said anything to me all day. For the love of God, will you please tell me what you're thinking?
I didn't have to wait long. A few days later, I'd just come home after biology class.
What I'm thinking.
Well, what are you thinking about?
Cherry pie.
All right. What are you thinking about cherry pie?
Hello?
It looks like blood.
That's a pleasant surprise.
I think it looks like blood.
As it happens, I was thinking
No,
about you.
I think it looks like cherry pie.
What do you mean, come the way you are? It's the first part of the ride. Can't miss it.
Now doesn't it look like blood?
Sure, we'll have a ball.
No, it looks like mashed up cherry pie.
I poured a powerful sleeping potion that
What
managed
has
to get into the vodka.
A man wanted her body for money and she rejected it.
Forgive me.
Go now.
I just couldn't go through it. He was...
I filled a glass of water.
He wanted me to do such horrible things. I just couldn't.
Stand up. Stand up. You know our laws, and you have to comply with them. Your soul belongs to the Divine One, but you must sell your body for the good of us all.
My body and my soul belong to you, Dorian.
Silence. You still don't understand the message of the Divine One. All right? I free you from your oath.
That's
You're
me.
free.
I'm coming.
You can go.
No, please. Please don't throw me out. I promise I won't do it again. Please. I beg you.
Hi, here we are.
No.
All right, yeah.
All right. I forgive you. Go and
Nice
never
place
break
you got
the
here.
laws of the Divine One
Looks
again.
cozy.
Thank you, Dorian.
Real nice. All right. Yeah, it's cozy. Oh, that's a fine bed. Hey, let's try it out right now, yeah.
What about a drink to begin with?
When I first started,
You like vodka? That's all.
love it. Baba, yeah. Baba. That's fine alcohol. It's to us. Yeah, oh.
I'll put on some music. You like
Yeah,
music?
oh yeah, that's fine. Ah, oh. Yeah.
Down the hatch.
Cheers.
Down the hatch.
You're a beaut.
What are you doing here?
I'd rather roll in the hay on the road.
The real treat this time.
I think I'll change.
Hey, whoop, it's my turn.
Everything, read everything. He traveled to Africa, he traveled to India, he traveled to America. He was somebody who had a voracious appetite for experience and trying to understand the psyche in all times and places and all locations on the globe.
All you know, there were 10 years before the psychoanalysis.
Come to the water.
Real beautiful. Why do you pour some more?
Why you any way you want. You've got it.
Never lost his lifelong fascination.
Do what you want.
His halo flame became both a mentor and his nemesis.
He didn't meet Freud until 1907, and when they met, they spoke for 13 hours straight. And one of the things that came up was the occult. Jung had been a defender of Freud's sexual theory of hysteria before they met, and a public defender of that, but he didn't believe the sexual theory explained everything. And when he sat with Freud when he was searching out his Freud, they got a very, very serious expression in his face and looked at Jung and said, you must promise me one thing, dear son, you must promise never to abandon the sexual theory and make of it a dogma and unshakable bulwark against the black tide of mud. And then hesitated and said, of occultism.
Jung refused to believe that sexual repression explained everything, and he was not allowed to give up the occult. But Freud made certain that Jung paid the price.
Jung was, at the time of his break with Freud, he was president of the International Psychoanalytical Association. And Freud did not want to leave Jung in charge of the whole shop. And so behind the scenes, in what you might call an occult practice, he formed a little committee, and he gave each one of them a little signet ring, and he swore them all to secrecy, and they began to plot in a kind of conspiratorial way about how to get rid of Carl Jung.
After the break with Freud, Jung spiraled into a 6-year depression. He retreated to his country house in Holland. Like Newton so many centuries before, he went in search of his own philosopher's stone.
Always make me so nervous. It's like I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Hold on with people in pain, suffering. It's as if I was all alone, completely alone, in the middle of a world that's in agony. Don't worry. I'll be right back.
Fukushima catastrophe is probably the worst nuclear disaster in human history. It's certainly worse than Chernobyl.
Billy has told me
Cleaning
a lot
up
about
contamination from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is a bigger task than anyone expected.
What happened on Christmas night in Lowell?
The head of the firm that owns the plant laid out his new plan to get on top of the job.
Imagination.
Tokyo Electric's president Naomi Hirose visited Environment Minister Hiroyuki Nagahama. He described his plan to increase the number of decontamination workers threefold to 300.
Peter was naughty, Doc.
We want to get advice from ministry officials, then dispatch experts on civil engineering and radioactivity. We want to do a good job.
The minister said he wants workers to be more proactive so they can make the region safe as soon as possible.
You know, the independent scientists say there's a problem, and the government and the nuclear scientists say there's no problem.
Debris from the tsunami that hit Japan last year is drifting across the Pacific. Japanese government officials say much of that debris could start washing ashore in North America next month. An estimated 1.5 million tons of wreckage is floating toward the United States and Canada. A few items have already turned up on the coastline. Scientists at Kyoto University are analyzing the debris' movements. They say 33,000 tons of material from wrecked houses may wash ashore in North America by June. They say fishing boats, buoys, and other items that catch the wind are drifting toward the Philippines and could be there by February. Officials at the Environment Ministry have given the predictions to officials in the United States and Canada.
The Japanese government are trucking radioactive material from the Fukushima disaster area where it's contaminated all over Japan. And even as far south as the south of Japan, we're now getting reports of radioactive material being taken all the way to the south of Japan to be burned. Now, what possible reason could there be for burning it as far away as that? I'll tell you the reason. It's really quite sinister and horrifying. The reason is this. That eventually, when these children start to die from leukemia, from other cancers, from heart disease, from whatever, their parents are going to want to go into court. They're going to want to sue the Japanese government, and they're going to want to have to say, in order to do that, these children were contaminated, and that's why they've got high levels of cancer. But of course, the only way that they can say that they've got high levels of cancer is to have a control group in an area that's not contaminated. For example, the south of Japan. So I believe that the project to take this material and burn it all over Japan is to destroy all of Japan, is to increase the cancer rate in the whole of Japan.
Seems a little early to start using them, doesn't it?
Control group.
That's why Blood City was created, darling. Weed out the losers. There's a breed of people that seem to get themselves killed at the very first opportunity.
I had a pawn on my side. Seems quite promising. Subject's name is Michael Lewis, that is Lewix.
Promising pawn. If I had $1 for every promising pawn, I'd take you out to dinner.
Well, I just have a feeling.
You wouldn't like to put your money where your pretty mouth is, would you? I'll give you odds.
It's not very scientific or hygienic.
No, ma'am, it's just common sense. Let's see how your promising pawn survives Plan G1. It is now your move.
75% of all the oil hate Israel.
What are you doing? Destroying my bathroom?
Is it any wonder that there will be a gathering in the Middle East? In fact, God tells us in Ezekiel 38:4, he says, I will turn you around and put hooks in your jaws. And I believe one day that's what God is going to do. Oil is the hook in the jaw.
What's the matter?
God is going to take the hunger for oil and he's going to draw these nations to the Middle East to see who can survive and end up with the money, with the oil.
I'm not joking.
God said that he is the one
I killed a man.
who brought all the armies to the Middle East. And there are some who believe that we
Maybe
may
you want
at this very
come
time
and see.
be at the beginning.
Come on, maybe you know who he is. Who he was.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the money, isn't it?
No, I'm not coming in there.
It's all about the money. To the very end of the age, materialism will drive humanism in its rebellion.
It's too hard to explain. You won't believe us. You can't believe
First, we
us.
should decide exactly what to say.
So we have the
But I'm not calling the police. I'm calling my brother.
Maybe you shouldn't call my brother or the police.
And prosperity.
Maybe you shouldn't call anyone just now.
The Middle East.
Oh, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here and then we can decide what to do.
All of us here today, we all have to deal with this.
You mean run away?
Yes.
The preoccupation with money and material things.
You said yourself
The
it would be too difficult to
preoccupation with
explain.
money and material things. In 2 Timothy, as Paul was writing to his young protege, he spoke about the last days. This is what he said. But know this, that in the last days, perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money. And then there's almost 18
Good day, Milton. Are you ready?
Almost.
Then I'll have one of the girls brought to you.
Please. Looks like someone quiet, peaceful and mystical. Being down there, but helped you to get away. It's got to be too difficult, you know. If Louis Jack was being too hard on me, or if your Gracie asked too many questions, or if I was just needing a rest. So I'd go down to Hammersmith on the bridge, or maybe take a bus to Richmond and just read my book, or maybe think, or just do nothing at all. Sure, I heard the traffic roaring around the bridge. Sure, there was some smoke and stuff in the air and bits of litter around.
Good morning, my beauties. Have you all slept well?
You and nobody else.
Who wants to go first? The strong, silent one?
I could be just...
Or the gentle, pretty mouse?
Look at the river without...
Or perhaps the blonde whore should be first, you
There was even a
bitch.
tree or two on the other side. I had to go back, sure.
Karen Laverne.
But being down there from time to time...
For you, I must plan something special.
Maybe you could save me.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
When I was down there, Louis Jack was only a dream. Not a reality at all. And your Gracie hasn't even existed for me when I was down there.
I don't know anything. I swear to you, I don't. Nothing.
I want to believe you, but I must have proof of that, so you'll have to convince me.
Until the precise hour, day, month, and year for them to be released.
I'll begin with you, my little mouse. Bring her to the
All
side.
right, let's keep together. It ain't far. I know you're tired.
There are new entities of a new world order who have openly advocated recently for up to
Don't be afraid.
what did it do?
Try to be brave.
Wait a minute. We're here to know. Give it to me, John. Mother, Mom, 2 weeks later, Mom.
No. That poor girl really knows nothing. That won't matter to those bastards.
Some of that ozone radiation. Don't know the high altitude. John, was it a program or a play or what? No, it's a reporter on a news broadcast. It's all broken up.
Doesn't work. Great. Maybe we can try the connection.
Hey, hot shot. We're out of fuel.
I know.
So where's that food that's supposed to be around here?
It's up ahead.
You said. That's right. I say. You hear that? Hot shot says there's food up there.
What are you going to do?
It's map right. Well, what the hell
Now
is
lift
it?
her higher than this.
Please, no.
That's it. Much better legs. Further apart.
No.
Now put her down. Slowly. Slowly. Relax. Calm down.
No.
Listen. The less you move, the less it will hurt.
Human, that's a very odd thing for another human being to say.
I didn't say human, Mr. Governor. I said inhuman. Lousy, inhuman bastards. And by the blessed St. Francis who loved all animals, I meant it. You see, I run a circus.
We know that. From 20 years back. From the year, Senor Nando, when the 2 talking apes arrived on Earth and conceived a baby whose survival could have threatened the future of the entire human race.
Mr. Governor, it's my understanding the baby was shot dead with its parents.
So it was believed, Mr. McDonald. However, ever since this morning, I'm beginning to wonder if they shot the right baby.
The apes could have switched their baby with one stolen from a zoo.
Or perhaps a circus.
But surely, Mr. Governor, you can't be serious.
Hoskins, the cassette, please. This is a recording of the recommendations made to the then President of the United States by the Chairman of the Presidential Committee.
And we believe that the male and female talking apes, Cornelius and Zira, have come to us out of the future. We believe their spoken testimony that some 2,000 years hence, their descendants will have all but exterminated the human race from the face of the earth. And we know that the female ape is now pregnant with child. The Commission therefore recommends that the birth of the female ape's unborn child should be prevented, and that both the male and the female should be rendered incapable of begetting another.
The definition, as I recall, is
But, Mr. Governor, every zoo, public and private, was searched by the police, and every circus, including my own.
Where a small chimpanzee was found.
The only chimpanzee ever to be born in a circus, and legally certified to have been born a month
all the way
before the talking apes arrived on Earth.
Where is he now?
Oh,
I
I
think
wish I
there
knew.
is
I told you I've
very
searched
crucial
everywhere.
issue
Senior Amando.
that is being raised because the definition that they're using for sorcery is so widespread that it encompasses everyone from
mainly in the provinces, is it not?
Yes, sir.
the gamut
You are unaware of the rising tide of disobedience, of outright defiance among the servant apes in our cities.
Definition or
Mr. Governor,
attributes
on investigation, many of the reported offenses have been proved minor.
vague and unspecific. Just too just.
Let's lay down a straight definition.
No, sir, I would not.
He physically assaulted his own master.
Only after what must have been severe provocation. The ape's entire body was covered with a series of welts and bruises inflicted by a beast,
which he no doubt richly deserved.
Recognized definition, we say in this book, just like that, in the following pages, when we say resources, we are speaking of any attempt to mind over
Waiting for an ape with enough intelligence, with enough will to lead them.
thoughts, through your visual
Waiting for an ape who can think,
you are going to transform reality, you're going to create reality, and this is an old method.
Has your paper talk shown any signs of being articulate in your presence?
George, do you see the parallel
or anyone else's
from all of your
You can
reading,
question my circus hands.
that this would parallel what the mediums, the spiritists have been doing?
You will remain in custody.
Not really. I'd rather use that as because I think about the definition.
When I was a kid, my father got me a job on a farm that made potato foie gras, French paste, fat liver.
The definition.
This old guy would go around 3-4 times a day, force feeding the ducks. My job was to go around and clean up after the ducks that would explode.
Water,
make this terrible sound just before they would explode. Helen, time to go?
Jesus was not doing
Like that, like a louder.
So the words that I speak, words that I do not of myself, the Father dwells within me, does, and I
help me out.
Between the miraculous and the supernatural power of man, and that which man attributes to his own mind, which is usurping the authority of God and trying to be God himself.
Majesty, Helen, give me the book. Help me out. Help me out. It's okay. I didn't want to eat them.
No, it's okay. I'll drink it. I'll drink it. No, I'll drink it. Please, I'll drink it.
You sorry?
Yes.
Does each person
Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry? Sorry?
get us right down to part of the
You're going to eat everything from now on. You're going to be good from now on.
You've said by visualizing with conviction and alpha and beta, you are causing, that is creating. And you talk about how to do science.
No, Frank! No, she has to learn a lesson. She can't disrespect her house like that. We have to teach her a lesson. She wouldn't drink it. We have to do it once so she learns a lesson, Frank.
She said she needed help. So just relax.
If you don't do, goddammit, if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. I know how to do it. No, I'll do it. I can do it. I'll do it. I'll do it, you little wuss.
I said it right. I said it right. I said it right. Hold the phone. Bring it down here.
This person onto your mental screen as he is with whatever ailment is troubling him. Third, project onto that screen a little further left a vivid image of the person in perfect health.
Is it coming out? Is it coming out? Is she drinking it?
Open it. Swallow it. Swallow it. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Give me a bowl. Give me a bowl. They'll go away.
They won't go away. Can't you see that?
Okay.
They're not going to go away. For God's sake, can't you guess what they're going to do next?
There's a gun in the house.
Let's play Run, Harry, Run. Oh, that's a great idea. That'll give you a chance to loosen up your legs. All you gotta do is, chase her.
What for? Because if you catch her, she gonna give you a blowjob. If you don't have she gets the fun. Now the blowjob, Harry. She wants to play. Not just
Because of its enormous popularity, Soylent Green is in short supply. Remember, Tuesday is Soylent Green Day. And now, Governor Sandy. Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
That's why a very delicate technique is involved in personal instruction. It's involved. It's easy, it's natural, but it's delicate. And it's easy to lose it. I'm afraid it has been lost completely. It's being revitalized again and again throughout history. Of course, Maharshi's own life was dedicated to teaching as many people as possible how to transcend and regain that experience. But unfortunately, we have a society with a certain momentum. We have generations of teachers who've gone to teachers' education, or members of teachers' unions that don't always support vocational education. So it may take a generation, unfortunately, it may take a generation. Now that simple techniques, universal, non-sectarian, scientifically verified techniques exist to gain enlightenment, it still may take a generation before these life-saving technologies to develop consciousness are reintroduced into education.
You said non-sectarian. Does that mean like
You can see there's a new sign they've put over the old one. The old signs had
the experience
violators will be
of
shot.
pure consciousness really transcends any one religion
So now
or
they've
any
got
one
these
philosophy.
signs.
It's as scientific as it is religious. It is, after all, a state of function of the brain, maximally expanded comprehension. It's the direct subjective experience of a scientifically discovered, unified field of all laws. Is that religious? Perhaps, but it's scientific too. So there's no reason that it should be disbarred from education. Otherwise, we're going to get the same old result. 5% development of our mental potential, another generation of war, and terrorism, and human cruelty. And that'll go on forever until the experience of life's essential unity is bestowed
exactly what we're
and the
doing.
brain is
They
properly
want to see where we're going to go and what exactly we're going to do.
They're watching us right now.
Yeah, they probably have binoculars trained on us right now.
I'd like to get out of here.
Okay.
Wanna go?
We can go.
After seeing the tight security up close, Pat tackles a new vantage point. But this one involves a treacherous hike up a steep 8,000-foot peak that will finally reveal Area 51.
We're getting images of Area 51 in high definition, the likes of which people have never seen before.
For years, the secrets of Area 51 have mystified UFO and military researchers alike. On satellite images, the details aren't clear. There are several runways, numerous large buildings, and several other nondescript structures.
Well, wait a minute. What about a multi-millionaire, Will? You're working the wrong side of the street, Harry. Well, now, wait a minute, Will. I think I've got it this time. How about a baby? A babe in arms. From a babe in arms to a babe in orbit. How's that sound? Hold it, Harry. Hold it. Condor, you shall fly again.
Meeting of the daughters of Lesbos.
I gave him a sleeping pill.
We have
2 hours,
and
then they'll come looking for us.
we would have to take some action.
They'll find him.
Until
Hide them in the
this
summer
time, our
trunk.
meetings have been quite social, filled with good conversation, fine wine, and topped off with some wild sexual escapades.
Now, remember what Mommy said. You mustn't go to the funny little man.
We are,
or the great
quite
big man.
frankly, a lesbian
or the bad lady.
Dedicated to the proposition
Even
that
if they
women
call
are
you
superior
Jason.
beings. Men have no place in our lives. Not in our sex lives, though.
Do you promise? I promise.
We had just finished an excellent dinner. The girls were mellowed by the wine and brandy, but not too mellowed to prevent them from objectively following the course we would all have to take. To anybody seeing us, we looked like a friendly group at an office party, but we didn't feel friendly, anything but. While we chatted, exchanging comments and stories, I thought back to the experience that brought me to this group. It wasn't a quick decision. It was something I had been contemplating for a long time. But the events of that night were the deciding factor.
No, Edmund, no.
I had had a dinner date with a man I knew. I
doesn't
waited
work
for him, but he didn't even have the courtesy to phone the restaurant.
Ever since the first
I was
day
really
we were
more angry
married,
at myself for making the date in the first
there was
place
always
than at
this
him for
mystery
not
about
keeping
you.
it. I had walked into a bar.
At least I thought it was a mystery, but it wasn't. It was your retreat. I say to your intellectual fantasies. This house where you hid me away with your books and your dreams.
I really hadn't been there long when I felt his eyes.
Whatever it is that's happening, Edmund.
I knew the pitch was coming and made a quick decision of
I have the feeling that it was born in that dream you've told me about. And that you, and only you, are in control of it. Now, you've invited your friends here to destroy me, them, Jason.
It was the standard
finally
combination,
yourself.
number 101. A little subtle, but no mistaking his meaning. All right. I played.
You see, I'm not afraid to die.
Allow him to get friendly, warm up to him, let him feed
It's
on his
Jason, I'm afraid for him.
Then, when he really wanted me so bad that it hurt,
Because
I
maybe
would
you haven't
laugh
learned what a woman does when she knows her life is over.
destroy.
You wouldn't let anything happen to Jason.
No, darling. Never.
He was conveniently staying at the hotel next door to the bar. It was perfect. Should the situation get out of hand, all I would have to do is scream. Hotels don't like young ladies screaming in the rooms. There was no way I could anticipate
You're a
what he would
coward,
do.
Edmund.
He must have read me before I read
realized
him.
that tonight.
He was prepared for me all right, with a pre-measured dose of sodium amethol in my
There's no point in lying to myself any longer. There are worse things. I could have married a machine. A drunk man who loved other women. At least you were gentle. Time's running out, isn't it, Edmund?
The dosage wasn't enough to knock you out. It just kept you aware of what was happening and not able to do a damn thing about it. He was clever, all right.
Fair, can we go home now? You said an hour ago we should go home and I'm tired. All I want to do is go home.
Teddy bears. Oh, come on. They'd be
No,
cute
you
for
got
the
enough
kids.
teddy bears.
Harry,
All over the bed in the
you
bedroom.
haven't
You
done
got teddy
anything with
bears.
me all night long, and you wouldn't
Haven't
go
done
inside.
anything all night long.
You
You had
wouldn't
hot
go
dogs.
inside,
We walked on the
Harry.
boardwalk. You had your porch. Don't worry about my stomach. My stomach's all right. No, I'm not upset.
Not leaving here until I get it.
Prize $3 for a quarter right here. What do you say? Win a prize for the lady. $3 for a quarter. Here you go. You win anything you want. Or you got to break the two balloons. You win what you want. All right, don't fuck me. Don't fuck me. Oh, pretty close. I got 2 more. 3 more? Lady, he's got 2 more. Okay. Oh, very close, but right. Are you married? No, never have been. Don't get married. Boy, it was the biggest success of my life. So big. How'd you ever get hammered with that one? I don't know. It's a long story. I don't want to tell you, but take it to a winner of prize. Shut her up, right? Breathe deeply. Make it really just aim a little bit above the ball, and you'll hit him.
So the minute you say, oh, this is an extreme spook, all of a sudden, oh, you're not going to put it in the The Muhajirun was an open-fledged terrorist entity, speaking out on the streets, calling for Muslims to jihad against Britain.
You gotta take it easy.
We've been infiltrated by people who want the Quran to replace our constitution.
أنا رحت سنة 95 لقيت خطب بتقول إن هم منطلقين للبيت الأبيض خلاص من المساجد من بعض المساجد. يعني إيه منطلقين؟ يعني كان واحد بيقول في خطبته إن إحنا ذاهبون دلوقتي إلى البيت الأبيض علشان إن شاء الله ينتصر الإسلام ويتحول البيت الأبيض إلى البيت المسلم. يعني هيروحوا يقتلوا البيت الأبيض يعني؟ لا، بسواد الإسلام وأفكاره سوف يتغير البيت الأبيض.
The vast majority of Muslims who live in America or any of the other Western countries are loyal, good citizens who care about the future of their country and who would never dream of doing anything against the interests of their adopted country. Many of them were born in this country. So the one thing we can't do is stereotype, generalize. What we can do is be worried that there are those from within our own country that have been taught by extremists in extremist mosques and by extremist tapes that you can easily get today to hate the country you live in and to support only the most extreme elements of radical Islam dedicated to the destruction of Western values. That is a serious problem.
Hamas has the largest infrastructure of all terrorist organizations on American soil today.
They are not trying to be part of the American way of life. They are not trying to be part of our culture. They are here with an agenda to make Islam the law of the land.
Just to show where our loyalty belongs to. You see this flag here? It's going to go on the floor. And to us, our loyalty does not belong to this flag. Our loyalty belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
It's not illegal, nor should it be illegal to say death to America. It's protected speech. And in fact, Islamic groups understand that it is protected speech.
Don't be afraid to speak out against injustice in this country. One of the loopholes of this government is they allow the freedom of expression.
But it doesn't immunize those groups from being accountable for the radical views that they espouse.
Of course, not all Muslims are doing that. But we've been infiltrated with this kind of agenda. And America has to wake up because we are strangling
It was like the end of the world. There was destruction everywhere. People scrambled around in hysterical panic. Cars and buses and taxis were slamming into each other by the second. Mass confusion reigned here in downtown Metropolis like never before. And the cause of all this?
No, I don't know what got into me. I didn't mean to cause all that destruction. I'm sorry. So sorry.
The time, 4 in the morning. The place, an apartment at 344 Clinton Street in Metropolis, where newscaster Clark Kent has been suffering through a night of fitful sleep.
Phew. That was some nightmare. The city looked like a tornado swept through it. The only trouble was, I was the tornado. After waking up from something like that, I could use a breath of fresh air.
The man that gets out of bed is accustomed to having the problems of the world upon his massive shoulders, whether asleep or awake. For this man, opening the window in his pajamas, is secretly the mighty Superman himself.
Great Krypton! Building then it wasn't a dream. It was all horribly real.
In stunned disbelief, the Man of Steel switches on his TV in search of some sort of explanation.
And here at the scene, our cameras clearly show the extent of the destruction, indicating it was truly a miracle that no lives were lost, although a small number of people were injured. And as unthinkable as it is to believe, all the eyewitnesses named the same culprit, Superman.
That's impossible. I was here asleep.
The mayor and law enforcement officials are said to be meeting right now to discuss what sort of action should be taken against Superman for this despicable display of superpowers on a rampage. As soon as a decision is reached, WGBS-TV will relay the information to you viewers. This is Lois Lane, here in the wake of
they're just barraged with all of this negative influence, and they need to be told the truth.
Thank you, Lois.
And this book that my husband's written, we hope will encourage them and equip them with the truth and the courage that they're going to need to stand up and fight this culture war. It's serious today, and it's not getting any better. The funny thing is, and I think that you probably know this, there's these Chuck Norris facts out, so it's really reconnected my husband with the youth today. It's all part of God's plan, and it's really exciting just to see him be able to have a platform to speak into their life.
Well, I have kind of a joke there. You know, one of the Chuck Norris facts is that America's not a democracy, it's a Chuck-tatorship. And I said, now if that was true, I would go to Washington and I'd line up every member of Washington, and then I'd have Ron Paul, who I believe is one of the more honest politicians back there. I'd say, Ron, point out the honest politicians and the dishonest ones. And we'd go down the line. He'd say, he's honest, he's corrupted. I'd walk up to him, I'd say, you're fired. And if he didn't move immediately, I would choke him unconscious and roll him over to the side there. The millennials love this.
I thought you would have a firing squad.
But with one difference. You'll never ruin a woman's existence again the way you ruined
How come he was talking about the borders? You're really concerned
Does
about
that name mean anything to you?
Tell us about it.
That poor girl lost her life for falling in love with you. You were so depraved.
I believe the first thing we do.
A man who was drunk with horrible perversion. You treated her like a piece of shit. You humiliated her, shamed her, exploited her, even though you knew how fragile she was, how sensitive. She didn't have the strength to resist you, but she couldn't live without you. You made her kill herself. Look me in the face, Carlo. Do you know who I am? I'm the sister of Francoise, the only person to stand by her always and befriend her. You killed that wonderful girl. And now I'm going to see to it that you don't kill any more girls like her. You were completely conscious of just how much you were hurting Francoise. I've thought murdering you was the best way out. But no, you don't deserve such an easy way out. I'm giving you the worst punishment I know, the one you deserve, your masculine prowess, which is so powerful and so pitiful. The thing you treasure more than anything in the world. That's how I'm going to punish you, Carlo. Castrated, you'll be totally impotent. It's ironical. Yes, it is, because the orgies I put on were only for you, and they will always linger in your mind, but only to haunt you and torment you, because you'll have no release. Now you're helpless, aren't you, Carlo? I'm going to crush you the same way you humiliated Francoise. When you're free, you can do what you like to me. I don't care. I'll have had my revenge, and that's all that matters to me. I've got no more reason left for living. I know what life is like. It's only
my wife Martha had a little baby girl, so pretty and good we couldn't believe. And another kid on the way. But when Martha had this one, something went wrong. This thing she give me, something happened. He was so big.
You kind of like can feel confident.
He came out sideways and almost tore poor Martha apart. He weighed 20 pounds and was hairy as a monkey. When he was 10 years old, he was big as I was. Accidents were happening all the time. Dogs falling in the well. I even found chickens with their heads bit off. Then in August of '39, I was in town getting supplies. The whole damn house burnt to the ground.
And I also do janitorial work.
My little baby girl was a cinder when I found her, but this monster kid wasn't even singed. I knew he'd done it. I hit him with a tire iron and I split his face wide open. How bad was it? I thought I'd killed him. I was afraid they'd come and take me away. So I took him out on the desert and I left him there.
Little devices.
I figured if he wasn't dead, he couldn't live more than 2 hours out there in that heat. And then it would all be over with.
And you think his ghost is still trying to track you? That was a long time ago.
Long enough for him to steal a whore that nobody had missed. Long enough to raise a passel of wild kids. Long enough for a devil kid to grow up to be a devil man.
Sexual promiscuity or
Putting it on your
of
face
violence.
and,
This has been cited as one of the reasons why so many of the most vicious sex crimes are perpetrated by marijuana users. Crimes of robbery, burglary, and homicide are also common in these cases, and the police found that individuals are usually under the influence of marijuana when a person tries his first injection of heroin. Marijuana exaggerates whatever mood a person may be in and gives him a delusion of greatness, strength, and influence. He conceives of himself as a talented artist or an enchanted man.
yeah, go get another dog.
Aware of the innocent merits of this trial and the evidence and suspicion resulting thereof.
Let's rock and roll.
All right.
Okay. Let's do this. Yes. Whoa, Dave's got the headphones on.
One of my favorite pairs of big, sorry to interrupt. One of my favorite pairs of big natural tits in porn, and I probably shouldn't say
Report on the sentence and the trial by torment that this tribunal of the Holy Inquisition instituted against said Baron Batavia for heresy and the instigation of heresy, for practicing dogmatism, for having used witchcraft, superstition, and conjuration, for depraved and dishonest men, for having employed the art of necromancy, invoking the dead, and trying to foretell the future through the use of torture. For having seduced married women and maidens. Having taken note of the facts of this trial, we sentence Count Vitellius to be subjected to torment as far as is justified. And we warn him that if during said torment he should be maimed in any way, or should die, or his blood should be drawn in carrying out the sentence, this would serve as proof of his guilt and show that he had not repented. As soon as he was informed of this sentence, the accused declared that he actually welcomed the decision, and that this holy tribunal would torment him all its way. And therefore, he was conducted to the torture chamber, and his arms were thrust behind his back. The rope was then tightened by being twisted 30 times in a row, but the accused merely laughed with disdain at these acts of justice. Because of this bold defiance, he was then laid upon the rack, and with his arms and legs almost torn from his body, he continued to make jest of our holy authority. When the inquisitors witnessed this spectacle, they ordered that the torment be ceased. But since they felt that he had not received sufficient punishment, they ordered that the torture be repeated whenever deemed necessary. When the accused was notified of this decision, he declared that he would welcome as much torment as we wished to give him. At that time, his bonds were cut, and he was taken to a small jail cell close to the torture chamber, from where he has been brought to this room to receive our decision and our sentence. And now, as if our justice had not been sufficiently ridiculed, a witness has come before this tribunal to defend the accused. This is the epitome of all grace and defiance, Lord Inquisitor. Now tell me, are we going to stand by it? We order the witness to be brought before us in the secret chamber. have been given to understand that you have come before us to present evidence in defense of the accused. That is the truth, Lord Inquisitor. And do you know, young man, that he who presents himself before the tribunal of the Holy Inquisition in this country is under the obligation to have a full knowledge of the truth and to tell only the truth at all times?
I know, sir. I shall.
Then let us hear your story. Who are you?
My name is Marcos Miranda. I first saw light in a village called Quiana in Portugal.
And what do you have to say in favor of the accused?
I'd like to say that I know that Baron Vitellius is an honorable man, your grace. A man of many virtues, respected for his knowledge, that he is dedicated to the promotion of fine arts and science. He has helped the downtrodden people in this new land.
Have you ever heard anything more absurd, Lord Inquisitor? Marcos Miranda, the farce that you have tried to perpetrate has earned you the punishment of 200 lashes, which will be applied immediately in the torture chamber. This hearing has come to an end, and the Lord Inquisitors have heard all the evidence that was to be presented. As a result, this tribunal of the Holy Inquisition established in New Spain has seen fit to condemn the impenitent Baron Vitellius of Estera to be dressed in the clothing of shame bearing symbols of fight. He will undergo personal debasement before the people. All his lands and possessions will be confiscated. And finally, he will be burned to death in an open field.
If my body is to be burned, it will be without shame.